is horrible. On yours, when you were looking at it, you could see little cell membranes surrounding these cells. This is of such poor quality, you can't see the cell membranes. But if you had cell membranes around that, that would look more like a little pillow. In other words, it's about as tall as it is wide. It looks like stacked up cuboidal, but I did not assign you stratified cuboidal, so what is it? Transitional epithelium in the relaxed state. And you don't have to say in the relaxed state, but that's what it is transitional epithelium. But you got to be able to see the membranes. This is beautiful. Now, first of all, this is an artifact. That shouldn't be there, it's some debris. So ignore that gray stuff. But look at the cells. Look at the nuclei. Bing, 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 bing. It's simple columnar epithelium. This happens to be small intestine. So do you see that little brush border right there? We don't want to sweep your food out. These are microvilli. Remember, if my arm is a columnar cell, you would have extensions of your cell membrane so that you could soak more food up into the cell and on into your bloodstream below the cell. Those are microvilli. Much stubbier than cilia, much shorter than cilia. So you had a really good slide in here that day. So if you read the love notes as you went around, it said the pointer was pointing at some microvilli, but we told you we'd only make you know them up here. And I won't test you off of this. I just want you to realize they're there. So a really, a student that wants to see every little thing will now go back and look at that and notice, yeah, you sort of can see them, but they're very subtle. They're very subtle microvilli. Now, you go, well, what is happening here? All of a sudden, the nuclei are in a row, but then we get a little wiggle here. Well, what is the name of this cell? With that teardrop of mucus in the top. Goblet cell. So what is that organelle? Vacuole. What is the stuff in it? Mucus. So it spits mucus droplets to keep your digestive tract lubricated. So when you have that big organelle, it pushes that down, and so for a moment you get a blip in your row of nuclei, but then you get right back in order again and start going in a row. So 100% of the cells aren't going to be perfect. Look at the pointer during a test, because the pointer will be on a good representative area of what I'm asking you to name. Simple columnar epithelium. This is the prettiest you'll ever get. Look at the cell. Long cilia this time. Sometimes cilia are real long and sparse. This is kind of sparse. Other times they're shorter and thicker. But yeah, in reproductive tubes they tend to be sparse but longer. And see the nuclei? So it is ciliated, simple, columnar epithelium. Those are sperm. Kill them. We don't have time for that right now. We're doing anatomy physiology. Stay on the subject. Of course, I don't know. It took me 8 years to have children. My mom goes, "Aren't you learning anything from that course you're teaching?" But anyway. But that's what you're seeing. It's just thousands of sperm in the epididymis. Does this remind you of the epididymis? Okay. I didn't assign you this. This is stratified cuboidal. But see how once stuff is piled together, it distorts the cells? And again, it kind of looks like you're looking at a bunch of fried eggs. This is many glands in your body are stratified cuboidal. This happens to be your parathyroid gland. So I won't test you on that. I don't want to confuse you. I just want to prove to you there is stratified cuboidal even though we didn't do it. This is beautiful. This is not as magnified as all the previous slides. Look at these cells. Look at the nuclei, though. Ding, 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 ding. And up here, it's not as, no, this one's not as magnified, so those are cilia. Those are the thicker, shorter cilia. So this is ciliated, pseudostratified columnar epithelium. And what are these cells? Goblet cells again.